Section 34 is an extremely important and one of the most commonly used abused sections of IPC. This section lays down a principle of joint liability. I'll first read out the statutory provision. When a criminal act is done by several persons in furtherance of the common intention of all, each of such persons is liable for that act in the same manner as if it were done by him alone. Let us now see what are the essential ingredients of this section. Three things are required. There must be a criminal act. That act must be done not by one person but by several persons. And this criminal act must be done in furtherance of the common intention of all. If all these three ingredients are present, then a consequence follows. And the consequence is that each of these persons is liable for that act in the same manner as if it were done by him alone. As a matter of fact, this criminal act was done by several persons, but each one will be held liable. Each of these persons will be punished as if this entire act was done by him alone. Let us take an illustration to understand this concept. A person X is beaten to death by three persons A, B, C. Person A hit this person on the legs, person B hit him on the hands, and person C hit this person X on the head. The postmortem report shows that this person X died because of the head injuries. He did not die because of the injuries caused on his legs by person A. He did not die because of the injuries caused on his hands by person B. He died because of the head injuries caused on him by person C. Under the normal rules of criminal jurisprudence, each person is held responsible for whatever is done by him. No one can be held responsible for an act done by others. In our illustration, death is caused by an act done by person C. It was person C who had hit this person on the head. Death occurred because of the head injury, so person C alone should be held responsible for death. Person A should be held responsible for whatever injuries are found on legs. Person B should be held responsible for whatever injuries are found on his hands. However, Section 34 lays down a totally different principle. It lays down a principle of joint liability. If we apply the principle laid down by Section 34, person A is also responsible for this person's death. Person B will also be punished for causing death of person X, and person C, who actually caused the death, will also be punished for causing death. Each of these persons will be held liable as if the entire act was done by him alone. Having understood the concept and having seen the essential ingredients in the statutory provision, let us now move on to the law of Section 34 as laid down by the higher courts. We will see a concrete case decided by the Privy Council in 1945. This case is Mehboob Shah versus Emperor. The law laid down by the Privy Council in this case is as follows. Section 34 lays down a principle of joint liability in the doing of a criminal act. this section lays down a principle of joint liability. The essence of that liability is to be found in the existence of a common intention animating the accused. There must be a common intention animating the accused, leading to the doing of a criminal act in furtherance of such intention. But what is meant by common intention? That question has been answered by the court in this way. Common intention within the meaning of section 34 implies a pre-arranged plan. There must be a pre-arranged plan. And it should be proved before the court that the criminal act was done in concert pursuant to the pre-arranged plan. There was a pre-arranged plan and the act was done in concert together. The court, however, cautions that care must be taken not to confuse same or similar intention with common intention. There is a world of difference between the expression common intention and the expression same intention or similar intention. The inference of common intention should never be reached unless it is a necessary inference deducible from the circumstances of the case. This is the law which was laid down by the Privy Council in this judgment. We will now see the facts of the case and we will see how these principles were applied to the facts of this case. In this case, there was a fight between one Qasim Shah on the one side and two persons, Allah Dad and Hamidullah, on the other side. On the one side there is Qasim Shah, on the other side there are two persons, Allah Dad and Hamidullah. During the fight, Qasim Shah shouted for help because he was alone, so he shouted for help, and when he shouted for help, two persons appeared on the scene and they were armed with guns. Who are these two persons? Wali Shah and Mehboob Shah. Qasim Shah shouted for help. Two persons appeared on the scene with guns in their hands, Wali Shah and Mehboob Shah. So now, on the one side, Wali Shah and Mehboob Shah. On the other side, Allah Dad and Hamidullah. When these two persons saw them coming, Allah Dad and Hamidullah tried to run away. Why? Because Wali Shah and Mehboob Shah had guns in their hands. So the other party, Allah Dad and Hamidullah, were scared and they tried to run away. But they were stopped by Wali Shah and Mehboob Shah. They came in front of them. So now the picture is clear. On the one side we have two persons, Wali Shah and Mehboob Shah. On the other side, facing them, are two persons, Allah Dad and Hamidullah. And now Wali Shah fired at Allah Dad, who fell down dead. Mehboob Shah also fired. He fired at the other person, Hamidullah. Hamidullah did not die, but serious injuries were caused to him. This is the act. Wali Shah fired at Allah Dad, who fell down dead. So a death is caused. This is a criminal act. Causing of death of a person is a criminal act, punishable under section 304 or under 302, as the case may be. Causing injury to a person, this is another act. This is also punishable. The first act, causing of death of Allah Dad, was done by Wali Shah. The second act, causing injuries to Hamidullah, was done by another person, Mehboob Shah. So, what is the sequence of events? Wali Shah, he fires at Allah Dad dies. Mahbub Shah. He fires at Hamidullah. Hamidullah is injured.